Hello, the wonderful and amazing Sharam here. This is going to be a follow-up video of yesterday's video, which is a sense of worthlessness video. Today I'm just quickly recording this before I have breakfast and donate blood. I'm doing that. Apparently my blood type, the plasma, is incredibly sought after in men. It's quite funny. So I wanted to talk about, I mentioned in my last video, there's many things, but in the last video about worthlessness, I spoke about the rule, start with what's already working for you. This is a rule that has come to me through surrendering to my emotions and feeling whatever the fuck is going on underneath. As I was talking in yesterday's video about the minutia, so like feeling the minutia of whatever happens underneath, recognizing the value in detail, in realizing that if we feel worthless, it's because we had maybe lofty ideas of what having worth looks like. So we're actually, through feeling worthless, we start to recognize what's really giving us worth underneath. By the way, I have an interesting follow-up of that shift that I was talking about where I was really feeling worthless. Really interesting follow-up. I want to share a story at the end of this. But it's interesting. So as I've done this journey and when I'm working with people, helping people, just giving people advice, it's really helped me realize that whenever I'm talking to someone else, it's like they're not seeing the minutia. They're not seeing what's already working for them. You know, someone might come to me, for example, I work with a lot with people with their dating lives, with their relationships, which I feel like I'm moving away from that towards a bigger thing. Don't fully know what that is yet. It's pretty much just surrender anyway. But recognizing that they're like, oh, but I don't know what to do. And it's like, yes, you fucking do. I mean this in the nicest way, we're not recognizing where we already have a skill because we're looking forward. We're not looking what's already working for us. And this is why I find a lot of people, they turn to personal development because they're trying to change themselves. So they try and change themselves. They're trying to improve. You know what the phrase, fake it till you make it. All the while missing what's already fucking working for them. What's uniquely theirs. So for example, when I'm working with people with their relationships, all I'm really doing is helping them surrender to their shit that's stopping them from connecting with other people, but at the same time, helping them realize their own unique dating style. Because there's a lot of bullshit advice out there to tell you what to do and who to be and all this sort of stuff. So the reason why I'm saying this here is because as you yourself will go down a surrender path, you will start to recognize the value in the detail for whatever is going on. Maybe you're feeling like shit, so you start to really surrender to the feeling of shit, and then you eventually realize that, hey, even when you feel shit, you feel good, and that makes you feel great. So you start with what's already working, but you'll start to notice in other people that other people might be struggling with something, all the while missing what's already working for them. So when you start to notice what's already working for you, what I find really interesting is that it's easier to connect the dots. Much easier. Because you're not going from 0 to 100, you're going from 1 to 100, or 2 to 100, or 3 to 100. You're already putting in and recognizing inner momentum. Inner momentum is a huge and amazing concept. And if you want that, comment inner momentum in this video. And we're developing a lot of inner momentum towards the thing you already want. You're already recognizing that inner momentum. So most of the time, I find it's really interesting, even in myself and other people, all the time, is that we tend to struggle when we're not counting what's already working for us. And that's why surrender is important. Because more often than not, when we start to surrender, we realize what's actually happening for us the entire time. Now, here's an interesting story from that shift. I was saying at my night job. What I find really interesting was when I'm there, that job for me, pre-lockdown is when I got it. like divine intervention of the universe. All of these other opportunities to make money came up, and I was like, no, no, no. I trust myself. I've got to be here. And it's funny because of lockdown, all those other jobs I would have lost. So how's that for self-trust? That's why you trust yourself. Even if you're crazy, trust your goddamn self. And also me, but mostly yourself. But I've often felt like when I was there, I felt like I was just being babysat, like I'm worthless. Why am I even here? I'm not doing a good job. And all of this is like suppressed bullshit from time gone by. That's what it is. It's like, am I worthless in that situation? Like, fucking no. Am I a waste of space? Are they babysitting me? Like, maybe, but that's what managers do in a sense. They manage their staff, and I am the staff in that case. So what's interesting was as in that shift, I was surrendering my sense of worthlessness, and it finally got to the point where I naturally realized what was working for me. You either have someone fucking yell it at you, or you naturally get it through surrender. Like anything else, look, I haven't really dived too deeply into like, write down what's working for you. Because what I like about surrender is we don't have to like write things down. It's just an inner process. It's like you let your consciousness bubble up to the surface. Anyway, so I then started to realize that maybe, obviously, look, I had to accept there's obviously a fucking reason why they want me here. Like, obviously, I'm really helping out. I'm doing a good job, clearly. And there's a reason why I'm here too, even if I don't fully know why it is. But I'm doing a good job, and I gotta trust that. Anyway, one of the guys there, this is what happens. In my mind, I call it divine intervention. So divine intervention is when a realization happens through someone else. It's like they will come to you. Heaven, fucking hell, fury. They will call you. They will rock up at your door. They will knock on your door and fucking find you and tell you the thing you need to know. So usually this comes from an inner realization, or when you've made space that you are ready to hear something. Like, they will fucking come knocking at your door. You know my video about, oh God, I'm locked on the balcony and I just produced a video? To do that video, I had to surrender all my fears around making a video. Divine intervention, my mate calls me up, just opened his own cafe that I did the branding for, and he's like, yeah, no, just fucking post whatever. And I'm like, post whatever? Like, divine intervention. Thank you, man. Thank you. Anyway, so this guy I'm working with, he then says to me, in full divine intervention, what did he say? He said, look, we could have done the job without you, but it's better that you're here. You help us out, make the process better. Like, we can obviously do it with less people, but it's really good that you're here. And that fucking hit me like a boatload of trucks, like an army of trucks ramming their consciousness into my chest. It full on hit me and made me realize where I already have value. But I was never able to hear it. And like cosmic fucking divine intervention, it was never able to happen. But maybe it was happening all along. I just wasn't able to hear it. That I could finally see my worth in that situation. And when you have one thing, you start to notice the other momentum. It starts to steamroll. You know, it's like making money sometimes. This is where I'm learning and experimenting with. Want to make more money? Learn where you're already doing it. Now that feels very unsafe for me to share that. But that's where I see this idea going. Now, yeah, I'm very curious about what the future holds. Thank you for watching.